this is Anna from Craft Me a Card, and I'm crafting for the crafter, and that is you. So this is today's card here. I think this is going to be my last video for Halloween cards for this year. But this was my inspiration. This was leftover card that I had done with alcohol ink, so I don't really like how it came out, but it looks perfect like for a Halloween card. So that's my inspiration. I'll be using some images of animals that are kind of like in Halloween costumes, and this dog is a mummy. So cute. So I'm stamping him with VersaFine ink, and also this little cat that is dressed as a vampire. And I'll be coloring these out with Copic markers. Just again to show you the process that I do when coloring with Copic markers. First I go ahead and I color everything with my lightest shade. Then I go in with my darkest shade, just where I want my shadowing to go. Then I go in with my medium color, which is one that's in between the lightest and the darkest. And then I try to blend these in. Then to complete the blending, I go over it again with the lightest color, and that just seems to blend beautifully. So I do the same with the body of the dog. My dog is brown and black, so I decided to color this little guy brown. And again, light color, dark color, in between color, and then the lightest color. I'm going to leave this in real time only because I want you to see how it blends. The alcohol, the ink, is very watery, so when the paper is wet enough, these colors blend naturally. It's like adding food coloring to frosting. It just blends. It's so juicy and wet that the colors naturally blend together. You just have to keep pouncing it, have to keep going over the spots that you would like the color to blend a little better. So now moving on to the kitty. First color is a yellow, then I go in and I decide to color him in orange. And you don't want to wait too much in between each color so that the paper is nice and wet, so you can do this. And I go and do his mask black. I don't know why they put a mask. He's a vampire, not Batman, but anyways. So I do his cape black, and just by adding some gray tone to it, it gives me those highlights. And I decide to color the inside of the cape red because it's a very fancy cape that has, you know, a red lining inside. So for the spots where I went outside the line, I could just use the colorless blender, and that's number 0, and it helps you lighten these spots. So to help bring out the eyes, I decide to go in with my white Jelly Roll pen and just color those in. And I also decide to add little lines here and there just to lighten these little cute figures up a bit. And I just wanted to share the little happy face I have on top of my Jelly Roll pen just to help me find it easier. It's always nice to share a smile. I do have the matching dies for these stamps, so I just go ahead and I cut out this piece that it has inside. And be careful with these little sharp edges because you can get hurt, and you'll see in the oopsies at the end of the video how it did pierce my skin. Boo-hoo. So anyways, the show must go on. So I just go ahead and I match up the die with the image, and I go ahead and I run it through my die cutting machine. I was lucky enough to have these dies. If not, I would have just fussy cut them out, which is no problem at all. So if you don't have a die cutting machine, don't worry about it. Just use your scissors. I decided to use black cardstock for the base of my card since I do want a little black border around the card. And also from black cardstock, I go ahead and I die cut out a black hill. Again, if you don't have a die cut, just go ahead and do a little hill with your scissors. And here, as I am putting the little figures together, I see that there's a large empty space in the middle. So I go ahead and I look for another stamp that can complete the card. I find these 3 little ghosts, which are super cute. So I go ahead and I stamp and color these. And these I do not have dies for them, so I just go ahead and I fussy cut them out. So now that the scene is complete, I feel that I want this whole layer to be popped up. So I go ahead and with glue, I just glue them onto the hill, just the spots that touch that black cardstock. Okay, so now that everybody is stuck to the black little hill, I go ahead and flip it around and I add some foam, double-sided adhesive. I think this foam is perfect for when mailing out a card, but you want to add dimension to it because it just squishes and it becomes flat. So anytime that you're cutting or that you need to cut double-sided foam adhesive, try to cut it with both of the papers on both sides of the foam. Otherwise, the glue is going to stick to your scissors. So I just take the backing off of these little pieces of foam to go ahead and add it to my card. Next, I grab my inspiration and I flip it around to add glue when I notice that the back has a something that I want to use better than that was initially my inspiration. I really like the purple and the orange here. It's very Halloween-y and it's a lot lighter and brighter. It's happier than the piece that I had initially thought of using. So I just go ahead and I add glue to my inspiration and I use the back side of it, which gives me a better feeling, I guess, inside. It's that little feeling that as creators, as crafters, we look for. So I like this side better. So I just go ahead and glue that side down. Then I go ahead and I grab my little piece, my floating piece, and I add it to the bottom there of the card to then go in and stick with glue my sentiment, which is my Halloween. And I also go ahead and I cut a little happy with the letters are in white and the back is black, just so that the sentiment could read completely Happy Halloween. I also decide to bring in some bats just to decorate, finish actually the card. I bring in 2 bats and I add a spider to the right hand side of it. But for the spider, that corner there seems a little bare, so I decide to add a string. And this is just regular string. I just glue it on with some liquid glue, and then I glue the little spider at the tail end of it. I did not record the part where I added some faux stitching all the way around the card, which I think it gives it that little cute touch. And that is my completed card. I am very happy with it. So I hope you get inspired. I hope you create and be happy. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Like and comment. And I will see you next time. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. This at the top. Okay, good thing for liquid glue. Ow. The heck. Ouch. Oh. Owie.